Welcome in, everybody, back to the wave of the world. I am your host, Jacob Perry. I was accompanied last week by my good friend, Brian Menard. Really enjoyed our conversation and everything that we got to discuss and that you got to view. Notice, got some more merch on. It's not mine, once again. This is actually from God is Dope. If you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening via a podcast platform, I rock with God is Dope. I like a lot of their merchandise. I like what vision that they support and what they're trying to push. Well, I'm rocking it. Also, you'll see the new Spider-Man piece that I got. I've actually had this for a while, but I wanted to have some things behind me so it wasn't just a blank wall. Thinking about doing some other stuff. Let me know what you think. Yeah. So, with all of the nonsense and noise and news going around, I just wanted to take this time to say, love your people and to stay safe, because when outside people's opinions and thoughts try to infiltrate your daily lives and your thinking, it becomes overwhelming a little bit. I myself personally don't really subscribe to other people's beliefs or other people's notions. I believe in God, big God energy, and I believe that He has a plan for all of us and He will take care of us. I believe that wholeheartedly. So in this time that we all have together but apart, the social distancing that everyone seems to keep encouraging, I encourage everyone to, just love your people, love yourself. And in this time, I feel like it's best used to increase your knowledge about yourself and about your mental health. And whatever that looks like for you, I encourage you to go down that path and enlighten yourself about yourself. I was talking to someone the other day, and it didn't dawn on me until I said it out loud, but from the moment that we're born, the only two things that do not stop working until we die are our brains and our hearts. And those two control our whole body, our whole makeup. And the human body by itself is complex. I want to have another one of my good friends on who is actually in school for, it's escaping me right now. I'm sorry. I'll talk to you later. But she will be great on this show to enlighten all of us, because I have questions, but she's learning and I will learn with you all. But we were talking about the human body, how complex the human body is, and how amazing it is to actually see it work together. And your brain is controlling all of that, but your heart pumps blood to the brain. So like I said, those are the only two things in your body that are constantly working. So why would you not invest to keep those things healthy? It seems like it should be a given, but I know a lot of the times we don't think, when we think of mental health, we think of people who are bipolar or people who have schizophrenia, but mental health may just mean, like, I take 2 hours on Friday to play video games because that helps me relax. That may be a part of your mental health, or I may go for a run to clear my mind. Whatever it is for you, I encourage you to find that in this time of self-quarantine. Now, with that being said, speaking of self-quarantine, I recently saw a picture of, or not a picture, I saw a video of the passing of the torch ceremony that normally happens at an Olympic event, and this year it was in Greece. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. He is an Olympic swimmer for Japan, I think. His name is Nako Imoto. I probably said it wrong. I'm sorry, but you know your name. Um, there was the flags, there was a stage, no fans. And I think that is mad weird. To me, it looked like a scene out of I Am Legend, especially when he was driving down the street, driving to the store, and the mannequins were set up talking to everybody. He was talking to the mannequins like, you know, it was just another day. And that's what it looked like, but there was like 3 to 4 people there. I don't know. It was just weird. I'm not here for the whole let's do big sporting events without fans, because the fans give the the athletes, the energy that you need to put on a performance, because sports is serious to athletes, but when you are a professional athlete, at that point, you are an entertainer. As simple as that. You are like a comedian, you are like a magician, a contortionist, whatever. They are in the entertainment business. You can't entertain without a crowd. Like, if anybody watching ever has the opportunity to go to New York, the people who dance in the street, the people who play music in the street, whatever it is, nobody, if you did that with no one around, people would think that you were crazy. And I don't feel like you can you can't do major entertainment events without fans. It just doesn't look right. Anyways, speaking of sports figures, this was a big flex, and I do not think that it was necessary. Cristiano Ronaldo, who is the top paid athlete in the world, bought an island for his family to self-quarantine. And let me just tell you, that money could have been better spent. That's my opinion on it. I don't know what kind of money you have to have. Like, I know his whole family is insured. I'm pretty sure each one of his limbs would be insured if anything were to ever happen to that man. But in this time, not only do you have, so he purchased an island, big flex. You also have to find food while you're on the island, or have food brought to you while you're on the island. And that just baffles me. Like, you couldn't have stayed home? You just couldn't have stayed home, huh? Really? You just couldn't have stayed home? Huh? What's wrong with your home? I'm sure you, being the highest paid athlete in the world, you got a nice home. I'm sure you do. And I'm sure your kids love it. You know what? I'm not going to cast judgment. Do you? But big flex. Especially in this time when the government is talking about giving out stipends of $1,000 to U.S. Americans. But, you know, flex when you can, my dude. Speaking of travel, I know all travel has been banned, but there was a story that I saw of a man in Italy contracting the coronavirus by cheating on his wife with a mistress. And all I have to say about that is that's what you get. I don't know how severe his experiences with the coronavirus, but I do know that black men don't cheat. If he's in Italy, I can tell you that he's not of the melanation. That's just my opinion. And, sir, I ask that you quarantine yourself. It ain't gonna be with your wife. I guess you can quarantine with the mistress. you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit, sir. That's all I got to say. Man, eesh, that must suck. Like, you got, not only do you have to explain to your wife that you contracted this virus, but you also have to tell her how you got it. Not only is she leaving you, but you sick as well. And that mistress might not take care of you the way a wife would. You done effed up, bruh. On a positive note, no transition for this, the first day of spring is tomorrow. And couldn't be happier. Tired of wet weather, tired of cold weather. Like you know, Spider-Man, New York. Originally from New York. I don't mind cold weather, but after a while I'm like, alright, I'm tired of wearing hoodies. I'm tired of wearing jackets. I would rather be cold than be hot, because whenever you're hot, you can't, there's limited amount of things that you can do to make yourself not hot. But when you're cold, you can put on as many layers as you want. You can wrap up, you can bundle up, you can get closer with the ones you love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but cold weather, but for a shortened period of time. I like to know when it's going to be hot. And with everything going on, heat and the sun kills a lot of germs. So I'm ready for the heat. Spring, bring it on. I'm ready to see some flowers. I'm ready to, smell some fragrances. Also, with spring coming, speaking of change, good transition. I want everyone to take some time in your respective social distancing tactics. Take some time to step away from news, social media, etc., to clear your mind, because it can become overwhelming. I feel like all of us together can form this type of social anxiety from, or not social anxiety, but anxiety in general from this overload of news. It seems like every other hour that is being presented to us. Like, that's what caused mass hysteria that are getting people to go buy toilet paper and paper towels. It really doesn't make sense to me. And water. It doesn't make sense whatsoever that those are the things that people go to get. Also, guns and bullets. If I go to the grocery store and somebody pulls a gun on me for a roll of toilet paper, I would drop it and walk out. Drop it and walk out. No, I don't have the words, because I see the scenario playing out in my head, because I witnessed, hand-eye witness, I am an eyewitness, a man at the grocery store, he had a box of single wrap toilet paper, and the woman that was ahead of him was at the checkout, and the lady on the counter said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, like, we're limiting three cases of toilet paper per customer, so we have enough for everyone, and paper towels." So their limit was 3 4-packs, which is enough already. Like, if you live by yourself, or if you live with one person, I probably purchase toilet paper once a month. There's no reason it should be out right now. There's absolutely no reason. But she had 6 4-packs and 6 2-packs of 6 4-packs of toilet paper, 6 2-packs of paper towels. She's like, sorry, we're only limited in 3. And the lady was like, oh my goodness, that's ridiculous. The man that was standing behind her literally had a box of individually wrapped 36 individual rolls of toilet paper. And on top of that, he had 3 4-packs on top of that. He was just holding it. And when she said that, I saw him look down like... So when he got to the counter, the man put the box up on the counter, and the lady said the same thing. I'm sorry, sir. We're limiting 3 per customer. And he counted the box as 1. I am tired of people. That is the thinking that I have, that people will put a gun out for toilet paper. He said 1, 2, 3. He counted the... He was like, so I just have to get rid of one of these, like, pre-wrap rolls, right? She was like, no. What's wrong with you? That's what I said, but I didn't say it out loud. Because I know people's mental state can be skewed in this time, so I keep a lot of thoughts to myself. I self-reflect, and that's what this podcast is for. Prayers up to the people in Italy, because they have the highest death rate because of what's going around right now. And it's mainly because they have a huge population of old people. And I wish them the speedy recovery that they deserve. And I hope that I pray that their country will come out on top. But we should not be fighting over toilet paper, paper towels, hand sanitizer. There was a guy in Tennessee that drove from Chattanooga all the way up to Kentucky, buying all the hand sanitizer and then selling it at ridiculous prices. He should be arrested. He should definitely be arrested. We should not be fighting over these things. We should not be fighting over water. Never fight over water. Speaking of water, I've had this conversation plenty of times at my place of employment, and I think now more than ever will be a great time to do a Mount Rushmore of water. Now, with that being said, do not judge me for my choice. Please, por favor. Because I've gotten a lot of flack when I told people what it was. Number 1, Fiji. I think Fiji has the best tasting water, as you can see in the cover of the photo. Holding 2 of them things. I keep them things on me. I love Fiji. Fiji, you are getting free advertisement from me right now because it's just great. I never have a complaint, whether it's cold, warm, room temperature. I've done it all. Number 2, Aquafina. I don't know what it is about Aquafina, but when it's cold, it's better than Fiji. I think of the water boy. Whenever he got knocked out and he had that cold water that was in that little drawstring bag, that's what I think of whenever I think of Aquafina. And it just be hitting different. That's why it's number 2 on the list. Number 3 is Kroger. Now, Kroger is a little bit different because whenever I did a little water test and I bought every water, Smart Water, Life Water, Fiji, Icelandic, Voss, Kroger, Walmart, Publix, Mapco. I did a bunch of them. I might do that as a bonus for my Patreon people. Shout out to my Patreon people. Thank you for all my feedback with my past episode with Brian. And got some cool stuff coming for y'all. Stay tuned to Patreon. If you want to join, you can join for as low as $1. And you can see we just We just chopping it up over there. I try to interact with my Patreon people as much as I can, and I like the community that I've built. If you want to join, come on. Kroger, it's water. Like, I put it on Mount Rushmore because it has the best taste out of all grocery stores to me. You may like Great Value, but that's fine. Now the last one on my list that I'm probably gonna get flack for, but I don't care because I stand for this water, and not I think it's because of childhood experiences. I will admit to that, but I will not give it up. It's not going anywhere. Side of the house holds water. Hits differently when you've been outside all day, and nobody will tell me differently, because as a child, I personally was told, don't be running in and out of my house. Black people say it with me. Do not let my cold air out of this house. That is one of the 10 commandments from a black mother. Do not be running in and out of the house because you letting out my cold air. Either stay in or stay out. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll stay outside. But you get thirsty after playing outside all day. And you didn't want to be left inside because you needed something to drink. Because the moment that you step inside, outside just seems like paradise. Like, there's an ice cream truck, there's a fire hydrant that exploded, kids are running through, everything's in slow motion. Like, that's what outside looks like when you're not outside. But the second you go out there, your homies with the bikes pull up, they're like, what you want to do? I don't know. What you want to do? What you want to do? I don't know what you want to do. All right, let's go over to his house. None of that was happening when you was inside. But when you've been outside all day and you know that you can't come back in till the street lights come on, that side of the house holds water, hits the palate and the gullet a little bit differently. And I, to this day, will still drink side of the house holds water. So, Fiji, Aquafina, Kroger, and side of the house holds water. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope this has brought a little bit of light to your day in the midst of all of this, quarantining and chilling. I will be here back next week since a lot of this stuff is getting canceled. And I really enjoyed doing this. Send me more topics. And I appreciate you. I love you. Stay mentally healthy. I'm out. Thanks for listening. I appreciate all of your support. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. You can find me here at Wave of the World Podcast on YouTube. You can also find me on any podcast platform. If you have any questions, thoughts, or suggestions, please send them to waveoftheworld19@gmail.com. And this beat is provided by Terminal Beats.